Tasmania show. Tasmania show.
Tasmania show.
Tasmania show.
Tasmanian show.
Tasmanian show.
You already know what it is.
Oh yeah.
Wagwan gang, back in this thing, and if you really gang, bang that like button if you like the vibe, subscribe. If you don't have good energy, keep your ass inside. You're tuning into the Tasmania Show with Taz Tycoon, brought to you by Tazzy's Baddies, and today we talking about Harlem's very own Jim Jones. No stranger to the show. He's always in the algorithm. Shout out to Jim. A lot of people been having a lot of shit to say about Jim, but today we talking about education, and I'm big on education. I'm always giving back, doing stuff with the kids, so I think this is amazing. I know we highlight the bullshit and all the other shit that he's on, but he's basically explaining that blood, it could be a fraternity. It's not really just a street game. It depends on the crime and everything like that. But Jim was on the Joe Budden podcast basically breaking down the gang culture. And just to let y'all know, if you really gang, bang that like button. But we're going to hear what Jim Jones got to say right now.
100%. It's no difference. It's no difference. Only thing they did different is file legal papers that make them a fraternity. If somebody was to name Blood Alpha Phi Blood right now and file the papers, then Blood would be a fraternity. And we could start it anywhere. And they could put it in colleges and all that. Being Blood is not a crime. What you do, if you're doing criminal activity as being a Blood, makes it a crime. But that doesn't mean every Blood is a criminal. I know there's a lot of people in fraternities that broke hella laws and they are locked up right now. I know there's a lot of Q dogs who locked their ass up right now, you heard? You dig? But nobody talks about that. It's all the same thing. Freemasons, fraternities, Bloods, Crips, Yetas, it's all the same thing. The benefits might not be the same. Fraternity has a different type of benefit. You sign to this fraternity, hopefully it'll help you out with your future successes and business endeavors. But it kind of works in the same way of that also, because you got people like me that have been helping out people legally and giving people different type of jobs and opportunities.
I ain't gonna hold you. Jim, man, one thing about him that I appreciate, even he'll find his way in the algorithm. That's what Cam was talking about, whether it's him being mentioned with Nas or him being mentioned with 38 Special, or even just giving Jim his credit when we talking about the biker, wear the skull, the chains and everything like that. And I feel like with him being a cancer and him being emotional, I can see how it's like, he played his part. He was the cameraman. He's doing all these things, and just giving Jim his credit. Bar has been getting crazier and crazier. I don't know if it was the kitchen mixtape. I don't know what it was, but I was like, okay, Jim really doing his thing. He wasn't the person in the crew that I was necessarily looking for when it came to bars, but when it came to drip all day, give it up to Jimmy. But even right now, as I'm listening to him break down this whole thing, I went to Howard University. HU, that's my gang, right? And when I'm on my channel, right, I'm always telling y'all, if you really gang, bang that like button, because FOMO is real. Sometimes people just want to belong to something. If you come from a family and your parents ain't jacking you or your siblings ain't jacking you, you might be like, I'm gonna go get that love on the basketball court, or I'm gonna go get that love in football. Everybody might not be sports acclimated, so you might be like, my get up is going to get some money. And this is my family. So when it comes to that, one thing I do see that I love about Jim, even seeing him with the Let's Rap About It podcast, is really, really dope, because again, you've got all different types of people, that's saying all different types about his character and things like that. And at the end of the day, everything ain't for everybody. Some people like Coke, some people like Pepsi, some people like whatever it is that they like. You might like Dipset, you might like the Locks, you might like whatever. But when it comes to education and his theory, I was like, damn, I ain't gonna hold you. If there was a way to be a part of something without you having to do anything criminal, what makes you a criminal is what you do as a blood. But when he broke it down, I went to Howard. We talking about the Divine Nine, the Greeks, the AKAs, the Kappas, the Dogs, the Zetas, the Alphas, all of them. And he's saying that there's no difference. He's giving everybody opportunities. But if we could change the trajectory and the mindset of what it is that people are doing, no different than a Nipsey and a YG. You know what I'm saying? Like really like, gang, you want to wear the colors and you want to do all these different things. But if you want to be a part of my gang, all you got to do is like baddies, you feel me, and like to get money. No different than an ASAP mob. So Tazzy's Baddies is the gang. But speaking of the gang, we gonna jump into another clip of basically Jim Jones on the Let's Rap About It podcast talking to Mano about Mano being a principal for one day and Trump being president, and just where we are with education right now.
Go to school, kids should get the education, kids should get the diploma at least. I don't know how education is going nowadays. It is definitely a very different than when we were coming up. It seems like it's definitely not needed as much as
Next
it was.
week, I'm gonna be a principal at a school for a day.
You?
100%.
How?
100%.
Did you got your GED?
What?
Yes, nigga.
Clinton Correctional Facility.
It's crazy. From Clinton Correctional Facility to the principal of a school is wild.
Trump is president and Mano is principal.
There you go.
It's crazy. It's about that's about right.
Yo,
Yeah.
look at
For a day.
Look at you.
anything's
Man.
possible.
Fab is funny as shit. Trump is president, Wayno a principal for today. But seriously, like, you have people that are out here like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, right? I'm not even trying to be funny. Out here getting degrees from, where's that school at again? Indiana State Theological, Psychological, whatever university. But then you got people that are out here getting honorary degrees because of the work that they're doing. Like Diddy, like he got an honorary degree to Howard University. Hearing, like, one thing I will say is, like, okay, yeah, you might not have gotten your education, Mano, traditionally, but to be able to go into a school for a day as a principal, I think is kind of dope. Even the things that they're doing as far as being outside, McDonald's, the different things that the Let's Rap About It podcast is doing, but to even take it a step further with interning. From what stories I've heard about Jim, you know, being privileged in a sense of he had access to good education, you know what I'm saying? But he wanted to be outside and he was, you know, trying to learn how to rap from Mace, you know what I'm saying? And like being with Dipset and letting people use his grandmother's house to do whatever it is. It's like you see a person today, I don't think we have enough Jim Joneses. First and foremost, I just want to give it up to Jim Jones. Everybody want to be the fucking star. You know what I'm saying? And when I feel like it was his time to shine, when he dropped Ballin', that's where all the controversy came, right? He played his role. From what I see, it's like you couldn't fuck with Cam when it came to Jim. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, if every nigga in your clique is rich, your clique is rugged. No one will fall because everyone will be each other's crutches. When it comes to Dipset, super proud of Cam, super proud of Jim. I don't know what's going on with Jewels, but education can save a nation, and I'm big on it. I do a lot of stuff with kids that I don't have to talk about, I don't have to prove, and all the things that I do. CAS, y'all know what's up. But when it comes to Jim and what he's doing with IFC, seeing this clip really took my respect level to the next level for him. I know people talked about his AC being off or his heat, him not having heat. Hopefully everything is insulated for the kids and they getting all the different things or whatever. But like Charlamagne said, like the truth isn't as important if the lie looks better. But this right here, I'm gonna make sure I show like the Jim Jones giving back to the kids.
You need to have a give back program every month for students to excel well in academics and athletics, something like that. Like give them
A's for Air Force Ones,
a chance to get some free sneakers.
A's for J's.
Nike's cost a lot of money, and these kids been supporting Nike for so many years, and they got so many different programs. They give like, why refurbish a pair of sneakers and sell them to somebody for cheaper when you got enough means to really do different things like that and give these kids back some free air.
Yo, shout out to Jimothy Gymnasium Jones, as Mano would say. Nah, that's really dope, man. I feel like this year, it's been a lot. I wasn't jacking the whole Nas comment, but hey, confidence, do your thing. I'm not knocking anybody. You from Harlem, I get it. Like, you should be super, super confident when it comes to when it comes to everything. But when it comes to Cam and him, I just hate seeing any black man tearing black men down. But I feel like when it comes to Jim, especially on my channel, I'm not biased. For one, you know, I look up to the people that are always trying to be neutral. On my platform, it's not to tear anybody down. I'm just going to talk about the truth. This right here might not get as many views as Jim kicking down the door, trying to break into the landlord, to his building to do whatever, or the controversy, but this is really, really dope. So shout out to the IFC factory. When I'm back in New York, I got to pull up, tap in. It looks amazing over there. So everybody building their compound ownership. It reminds me of Nipsey Hussle with the Vector 90 and what he was trying to do. Like all of the different things. Yo, Nip was so, rest his soul, man. His birthday's coming up. So ahead of his time. I'm talking about cryptocurrency, Vector 90, cannabis, marathon, everything that he's doing. We're talking about a brand. And even if we look at the Dipset, the bird as a brand for longevity, like just looking what Cam is doing with sports and Jim, regardless of if they're actually together, I'm looking at that bird as like a symbol of like hope when it comes to everything. But there's another clip. And I love this campaign. He was talking about how when people go to school now, right now, what's really weird right now is the way that the kids, I wish I could find the clip that I had just saw. Putting that shit on meant something when I was going to school. Like I specifically went to New York. I'm talking about going to New York every year. You could ask any of my friends in school just so that when I was in VA, nobody had the same shit that I was wearing. I refused. I'm talking Pele, Nietzsche, Parasuco, Pepe, like Echo. Like I'm talking about like going up to New York, Fordham Ave, 7th Ave, always every year hustling to get my drip. Now when I see kids outside, it's bonnets, it's sweatpants, it's all, it ain't like that. So shout out to my parents because demonstration I mean, you're a parent. Like, you don't get no second chance at a first impression. These kids be ashy in the school. The guys be wearing bonnets at the butt. It feel like niggas might have rolled out of bed and might not have even brushed their teeth. I don't know where the hygiene and putting that on. I wish that we could get back to that. That was important, like best dressed, all types of stuff. But Jim had a really good idea. He said that, yo, what if Nike did something like A's for J's, where it was incentivized, right? Imagine if you went to school and you knew that if you had perfect attendance and you turn in your work, that they're going to give you a voucher to go get some sneakers. At the end of the day, you trying to come to school to get the baddies, shout out to whatever you're trying to do, you know what I'm saying, and get your drip together. I thought this was amazing. Like, if anything, I want to be a part of this. Like, we got to figure out how to make this happen. This is like something really, really dope. So shout out to Jim for this idea. We're going to take a look at this clip.
Just have a job. There's nothing wrong with having a job because the job will give you shit over money. But they don't necessarily teach you how to have a career in something. And a career is something, a basketball career, or an entertainment career, or an actor's career, or these things, people, they got a lot of...
Jimothy Gymnasium Jones. Yo, today, listen, if y'all not watching this clip, I'm still going to put it out. Like, I want everybody to show love, spam Jim for the love for this, man, because I think that that's an amazing idea. Like, that type of thinking, what you're doing with IFC, I'm not saying that all the other stuff I'm not jacking, because another thing too, we set the trends. Jim was the last person to get a Migos feature. Like, I remember when that came out, Jim has been ahead of his time. So honestly, like, that doesn't evade whatever it is that he's done that's made people feel some type of way. But yo, shout out to, I think that's a genius concept. And even if Nike doesn't get buy into it, there's nothing that's stopping us from taking our money to be able to do that. So I'm saying with Jim, yo, I would love to be a part of doing something like that. That's amazing. But before we get out of here, there's another clip. Well, Jim is basically breaking down his education. Shout out to my mom. I went to Howard University, Bethel High School, really just happy to have access to good education. But then you got people like Sean Gathright, right? If you go check out my old video a couple weeks ago about the whole Julio Folio, you have some people that just really, really want to be a part of that street life. It don't matter. You could bust down a pack and sell candy. You know what I'm saying? I come from families of trappers and stuff. My granddaddy took me. I'm not even going to get into all of that. My granddaddy took me to Costco. And I bust down a pack of candy to sell my candy in school so that I could tell my mom, you ain't got to pay for my J's. Like, there's all different types of ways, whether it's candy, haircuts. We got to find a way to show these kids how to get money at a very young age. You know what I'm saying? I had one dude cutting grass, raking, shining shoes, getting back to that. But we're going to get into this clip right now of Jim just talking about how he had the access to the education, but he still chose the streets.
Different things, man. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air used to be on at the time. We used to flip our jackets inside out. We was doing check scams. We was stealing SAT books, all type of shit. We was a menace in school, but above all, we learned a lot. We got a great education. Between us being bad and being boys, we got it together. We both got our diploma and things like that. So, it wasn't a waste. But our family paid for our education, and we wasn't the best students.
Yo, shout out to Jim for even taking accountability. He said that he had access to the best education, but he wasn't the best student. Shout out to all of the parents that have provided. You know what I'm saying? You can lead somebody to the water, but you can't force them to drink. But what I will say is, although he might not have utilized his education in the conventional means that he might have wanted to, even Cam, he tried to go hoop, but then he went to go rap and get the money or whatever. What I will say is maybe, he didn't utilize the opportunity to go down the rabbit hole of being able to do whatever. But if you saying blood, five blood could be incorporated, and you want to take the street culture of the gang life and figure out, I don't know, that'd be kind of crazy. If we was to look at, I see the Kappas with the canes and everything like that. If we just saw a whole bunch of bloods on campus with bandanas and stuff like that, I don't know if that's ever going to be filed, but he made a very, very valid point. And I really want to know what y'all think in the comments. Yo, is the Bloods just like a fraternity to y'all? When y'all see the Bloods, are you thinking about opportunities? And I think that because of them not having a professional construction or type of whatever, that prevents them from is a ceiling that you hit with that. But if you have a legitimately, you went to college, I think that's the thing. Well, let me not say I know that's the thing, to have the fraternity or the sorority, it's incorporated and it's affiliated with colleges and internships and different things. If there was a way that it wasn't you had to go take somebody out or go do some crazy shit, then maybe five blood could be a thing. But like I always tell y'all, if you really gang, you can bang the like button here. You ain't got to do nothing else. These the colors that we rep: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, because I'm banging all ladies. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say, if you really gang, bang that like button. I'm just trolling. But nah, seriously, I want to know what y'all think in the comments. Like, do you think that the Bloods should be incorporated to make, do you think that will make a change? I just want to know what y'all think just in general about this conversation. But look, if you really gang, bang that like button. If you like the vibe, subscribe. If you don't have good energy, keep your ass inside. You're tuning into the Tasmania Show with Taz Tycoon, brought to you by Tazzy's Baddies. Let's grow.
Tycoon running up the score, Tazzy's Baddies on the floor. And that ass is super fatty, call me Zaddy, throw some more. Super nasty, she a savage, slaughter fucker like a whore. Popping bottles, foreign models, Tycoon on the world tour. Shorty, what you bad for? Turn this to a hit-a-thon. Damn, all your bitches bad, tell them they can come along.